So guess who has started displaying his tail feathers and having his snoot hang way down and having his face turn colors like a mood ring. And when the tornado sirens go off, he just started gobbling. So yeah, Highlander's a boy. We're kind of dumb not realizing that sooner, but in all fairness, all this just started like a week and a half ago, big time. Everything went kinda crazy for him all at once. Poor dude hit puberty like crazy. So part of the thing though is now that we have a male, we'll see what happens when he reaches full sexual maturity, which I've done research and is about 7 months old, which would put us right about November, Thanksgiving time. We do have wild turkeys around, we've heard them, so maybe he'll go mate with them, hopefully, because our other option that could happen here, turkey's imprint, which means, and I know he's imprinted on the ducks. He actually goes and stands with his feet in the pond with the ducks. And if he tries to mate with my ducks, that's not going to end well for anybody. I will be traumatized, ducks will be very traumatized, if not dead, and he will end up not being able to stay around. So let's hope he goes off with the wild turkeys. I will maintain a close eye to make sure he doesn't start that nonsense with them, but hopefully we can keep him. If not, I'll probably try to rehome him, because with me having named him, this is why you don't name your farm animals, people. I wanted him as a pet. That's, if he starts mating with the ducks, that's not gonna happen. So yeah, and honestly, I've had wild turkey, not a big fan, and neither is anyone in my family. And he's been moseying around everywhere enough that I would consider him a wild turkey. And he is really displaying this whole time because he is not happy with this camera in his face. Hi guys, Monica from the Auburn Hill Homestead. So in addition to my little clip on Highlander, I had my good friend wanting a full garden tour. So there's good and bad. And I thought about how I should do this, and I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna lay it all out there and let you guys see the good and the bad. At this point, I'd say it's probably about 50-50 in that department. Maybe a little more towards the good. But keep in mind, it's been hotter than 7 hells in Kansas. And there's only so much watering we can do. And when it's routinely heat index is over 100 degrees, the plants aren't very happy. So, and then there's some other issues that I'll get into when I show you guys. First up is the corn, which it's doing okay. Again, corn requires a lot of water, and we actually got rain. Oop. Sorry, buddy, I didn't see you there. Oh, I'm sorry, DC. Right under the feet. So anyway, corn's doing okay. Let's start drying out, and hopefully this is the corn that I'm gonna use for decoration. So even if it doesn't go great, that's all right. Next is all the okra. This is going wonderful. I've already canned 10 jars of pickled okra. And as you can see here, look at those. I need to pick them out and pick them. Again, it's just never ending. The thing with this okra, it's Okinawa pink okra. Say that 3 times fast. Okinawa pink okra. If you notice, it's not very tall. My okra plants last year were easily twice that size. And I was wondering when it was stumped what was going on, if I was gonna get any. And while they're not very tall, they are prolific in giving me okra. So that is a bonus. Next, another good one is I'm probably gonna mispronounce this, so don't hate me for it. Mesquite de Provence. I know I got the Provence right. But they are beautiful light orange pumpkins. I mean, look at this. This is all vines for that. And I've got quite a few pumpkins starting. There's one. And there's another. Oh, there it is. And here's my big one. So those are going really well. Squash bugs haven't gotten into them just yet. And I will get into the story more about squash bugs here in a minute. Okay, so on to the squash, which, I mean, pumpkins, all my pumpkins, different varieties. The squash bugs have taken over. I have been doing neem oil, diatomaceous earth, constantly out here. The problem with organic is when you use those, they don't stay on, and then I have to water because it's 100 degrees outside and they need water. And so it's just a constant battle back and forth with against the squash bugs. But I mean, I have already harvested a bunch of pumpkins and there's still plenty out there. So, Rodney's being a goober. So if this is as good as it's gonna get this year, that's fine. But you know, I'm on a Kansas gardener site, and squash bugs are the bane of everybody's existence right now, a gardener's existence. So it is what it is, and we'll just keep on trucking along the way I've been doing it and hope it's good enough. So with that, the cantaloupes were right by the pumpkins, and I've gotten quite a few cantaloupes, and there's a couple more out there, but as you can see, they've been really damaged by the squash bugs too. I've been weeding out there and stuff, and it's just they're infesting the cantaloupe too, which I didn't think was a thing, but obviously it is. On to the Lisa peppers. They are also doing really great. We ended up planting, my friend Karla and I ended up planting all the starts I had, and they've all survived. Shocking, I know, but they're doing fantastic. And it's Lisa, L-E-Y-S-A, from Baker Creek Seeds. I've let quite a few go red. They are delicious. They're pretty much just like a red bell pepper. And again, super prolific, doing fantastic. Jalapeno plants. I only planted 2 of them this year because I have a lot of canned pickled jalapenos from last year. And honestly, this is more than enough. I'm getting plenty for eating. I'm getting plenty to give my friend so she can make peach jalapeno jam, pureeing them. So we're 2 this year was just the right amount, and they're doing great. So all this was peas, and it's been turned into a compost pile. And things are already sprouting. I think little pumpkins, little squashes. Not sure what the other plants will be. And you know what? Last year, it was my volunteer plants that did the best, especially with the pumpkins. It's so funny. Just like literally go out there, throw seeds in the compost one year, let it go the next year. And honestly, I feel like sometimes it's a better crop than what you actually go and direct sow. On to the not so good. I've kind of given up on this bed altogether at this point. This, oh, hello little moth, was my cucumbers. The cucumbers were over here last year and did fantastic. Note to self, not going to plant them in the bed. I think there's just not enough soil for a root system. I don't know what else would be the problem, so we're going to switch it up next year for sure. On to the watermelon patch. I've already harvested a few. There's another massive one that should be ready soon. So the watermelons have done really well again, and I love the Orangelo, Orange Glow, I don't know, however you want to say it, from Baker Creek Seeds. And if you guys follow my Instagram, I harvested one this past weekend that weighed in at 35.4 pounds. By far the biggest watermelon I've ever harvested. I wonder if you guys can hear the 2 roosters crowing in the background there. We'll see. They're the bantams, the silky bantam. There we go. Hopefully you can hear that. They're the bantam silkies, so they're not as loud of crowers as what I'm used to, but that is okay. So next is the beautiful sunflowers. And I am 5'8", just to give you a little perspective here. And there they are. They are all taller than me. I'd say that guy's probably knocking close to 7 foot. And they're doing really well. I did have an infestation of the painted lady caterpillars on the sunflower leaves, but that's actually very common, and the sunflowers still grow even if the leaves are damaged. So just went ahead and pretty much left that alone. So there is damage to the leaves, but the sunflowers themselves are doing great. See, there's some damage to the leaves. Hi guys, promise I won't step on you again. Step on your tail. Sorry, DC. See, and here's some more damage that's happened. Here's some more damage. But like I said, as you can see, sunflowers themselves are doing absolutely terrific. All right, and last are the tomato plants. There is a fungus in them. I will look up the exact name and post it, which starts eating up the leaves from the bottom to the top. But as you can see, I mean, look at the amount of tomatoes that are still on there. And here, they're still doing. So of course my battery had to die right as I was at the end there and had to wait for it to charge. Anyway, plenty of tomatoes growing, even with, and I figured it out, it's Septoria leaf spot. And this was the area I planted my tomatoes in last summer, and I didn't have any issues, but that fungus was either in the dead tissue from last year's tomatoes, or it just came about this year. And I mean, I'm still getting tomatoes, still getting Romas, plenty of them. So I'm just gonna let it go. We're getting more towards the end of the season. It's super hot out, and take what I can get. And then next year, move them. They will not be in the spot. And I will also start using a fungicide right away. I feel like if I try to use that now, I don't know how far it would get. I feel like I'd just be wasting money at that point finding an organic fungicide. So that's all the updates I have. Highlander stuff and garden stuff, and like I said, good, bad, ugly, all of the above. But, oh, and I forgot one little thing. My eggplants, they're doing fine. Going well. Still giving me plenty of eggplants. But anyway, hope you guys liked the little update. And if you like what you see and like the channel, please don't forget to hit the subscribe button. And I hope you all have a great rest of your week. Bye.